Speaking of jobs, losing jobs, yesterday, SherMichael Singleton, who is a Republican, you've often seen him on this show, he's a senior advisor in the Department of Housing and Urban Development. The Trump administration fired him yesterday because of several articles he wrote critical of Trump during the campaign. Now, SherMichael Singleton worked on the campaign of Ben Carson. Ben Carson, of course, is Trump's nominee for Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Well, after more vetting, Shannon, they decided to fire him, walked him out of the building yesterday with security. Now, here's what's amazing. At the news conference yesterday, Trump said that he was hiring somebody who was part of the Never Trump movement to show that he is pulling the party back together. Well, Shannon, if that's the case, if he's hiring folks who were against him, part of the Never Trump, why fire SherMichael Singleton, who was critical of Trump, when you're hiring other people and you say, I'm pulling the party together? Security walked the brother out of the building.
Happy Wednesday, YouTube. I hope you guys are having a phenomenal day. So this video is going to be about SherMichael Singleton. SherMichael Singleton is a Republican strategist, and he's normally on Abby Phillips' Tonight Show. And I've told you guys before that I do not buy into the fact that SherMichael Singleton is a true Trump supporter. I believe he's a Republican. I believe he's a conservative, but I do not believe he supports Donald Trump. I don't believe that he wants to advocate for Donald Trump, and I don't believe that he's happy with what's going on with this administration. Those are just my beliefs. Those are just my ideologies, and I'm going to tell you in this video why I think that. So, first, I want to just kind of give you, because I know you guys just seen that clip. I inserted a clip from Roland Martin's show, and this clip was 8 years ago. This was 8 years ago when apparently SherMichael was working with Ben Carson, and you know that Ben Carson was working with Donald Trump and HUD. But SherMichael apparently had some very scathing like writings or opinions about Donald Trump, and basically they were discovered and SherMichael was fired. Now, I've told you guys, since I've been watching Abby Phillips Tonight, I've told you guys I don't believe SherMichael. I do not believe him when he's speaking, especially when it comes to the moral character of Donald Trump. And it's the reason why I say I believe he's a conservative, so I believe he believes in the ideologies of the Republican Party and of the conservative wing of the Republican Party. However, I don't believe he's a supporter of Donald Trump. So when I heard about SherMichael basically being fired by Donald Trump and being kind of escorted out of the building, it kind of like it kind of ringed off alarms for me. And I was just like, I knew it. I knew it. I knew that he didn't genuinely support this guy. But I think that what he's doing is going along to get along. And it's the reason I don't respect him. Now, I've told you guys several times, I don't care if somebody has a different political ideology as myself. Me and SherMichael are on different sides of the aisle. I'm more progressive Democrat, not very happy with the Democratic Party right now, if I'm being extremely honest. Have not been happy in a while, but I can never be a Republican or a conservative. I'm never gonna say never, but it's very, very, very unlikely. But I don't believe that SherMichael believes the things that he says. And the reason it's difficult to respect him, it's not about his political ideologies. It's not because he's a Republican. It's not because he's a conservative. It's because he's going along to get along. And no amount of money will ever be enough. No amount of notoriety or whatever it is that he seeks should not be enough for you to literally every day show up on TV and say things different than what you truly feel internally. And I believe that's what he's doing. Whenever someone calls him on his defense of Donald Trump, whether or not he defends Donald Trump in regards to morality or tariffs or immigration, he becomes, because he's not a combative person, he comes off as a very nice, decent, gracious person. And so when he had a couple of incidents where he got kind of confrontational and combative, to me it was because he was battling within, because he's not combative. He's not confrontational. You can tell he's a very respectful, it seems like gracious person. However, when his back is against the wall and it's like he's saying things that basically he's being told what to say, and he knows not, and I don't think he's deliberately being told what to say. I think he knows where not to go. I think he knows the things that he cannot say, and he knows how to kind of criticize Donald Trump, but do it in a very rosy, easy, digestible way. And for me, I don't respect that. Because I'm not saying to be belligerent or disrespectful. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying articulate your true beliefs, your true ideologies, what you truly think. And he's not doing that. And so when I seen the clip from Roland Martin, and when I heard Couch Politics, which is another YouTuber that I love, I always watch his content, and he was basically saying SherMichael got fired and escorted out of the building by Donald Trump for criticism. So now SherMichael knows not to criticize Donald Trump. He knows if he's going to say anything to be very easygoing, very kind of mild manner. He knows not to criticize Donald Trump too harshly, because he will be out. And if that's what he truly believed in his heart, it will be like, okay, if you, and it's not, like I said before, it's not about Republican ideologies, it's not about conservative ideologies, because I believe he is a Republican, I believe he is a conservative, but I do not believe that he's a Trump supporter. He literally said he gives Trump an A+ in his first 100 days. His approval ratings have dropped drastically. That is not even realistic. For the most sycophant person, it's not realistic, and it's definitely not realistic for someone like SherMichael, who I know knows better. He speaks well. He seems very educated. He's a business owner. This man knows better. Even him on Abby Phillips' show, basically trying to cover for all of these tariffs. You are a business person. You know that this is harmful to businesses and it's harmful to Americans. But you're toting the line and you're saying whatever you need to say to stay in Trump's good graces because you are afraid of him. And I think that's disgusting. I think it's disturbing. And when I watched the clip, I almost felt bad for him, almost, because I don't know what it is to be afraid to speak my mind for a job. I can't do that. I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to sacrifice who I am, what I believe, my true ideologies, my true opinions for a job, for some type of position or power or whatever the case. I don't know what that's like. So a part of me felt sorry for him for about 5 seconds. And then I was reminded that we all have choices. And if you're not going to be in favor with Donald Trump, that has to be okay as long as you're articulating your true beliefs, your true ideologies. I just believe SherMichael was a fraud. I believe that he was fired. He was escorted out of the building by Donald Trump because he criticized Donald Trump, and now he knows better. Watch SherMichael. If you ever watch Abby Phillips tonight, watch him whenever someone questioned him about Donald Trump morality or about tariffs or anything. He almost have a physiological response, and it's like he don't want to do it, but he has to just say it. He just has to walk the line, do what he's told. It's like he just has to play the role. And I will never respect someone that's just playing the role. And so I wanted to bring that clip to you guys. Remember, that clip from Roland Martin is 8 years old. It was when SherMichael was working for Ben Carson, and he basically wrote some scathing articles about Donald Trump, basically saying he didn't support Donald Trump, calling Donald Trump out for his whatever ridiculousness, because I think it was something regarding HUD and black people or whatever the case. I have not read the articles, but apparently SherMichael criticized him harshly, and SherMichael was fired and escorted out of the building. And so I believe now SherMichael feels like if he wants to be a person that has power, and are put in these positions like being on CNN, he has to kind of like walk the line. And he knows that if he's too critical of Donald Trump, there will be repercussions. And I just think that sucks. I just think that it's really horrible that you can't be your true authentic self and give your true opinions, your ideologies, what you truly believe, because you are afraid of being targeted, or you're afraid of retribution, or whatever the case. And I don't respect it. And it's the reason I like I said, SherMichael seems like he's a relatively decent person. I don't have any have any venom for him. I just don't respect him because I don't believe him. And I've told you guys several times, I do not believe that he believes a lot of the things that he says. I believe that he says it and he goes along with it because he wants to be in Republican circles, conservative circles. He wants to work on CNN. He wants these big jobs. He wants to still be important in the Republican Party. A lot of them are doing it. He's just one of them. But I watch him. I watch his mannerisms. I watch his it's like the physiological thing that he does, like he almost tense up, and I just don't respect it. But that's my commentary regarding that. I told you guys I don't believe SherMichael, and I kind of wanted to show you why I felt the way that I felt. So I wanted to make this video. I wanted to share the Roland Martin clip. Remember, the clip is from 8 years old, but I think it kind of gives us great insight to why SherMichael is supporting Donald Trump, when I don't believe, I can be completely wrong, but I don't believe that he genuinely supports Donald Trump. But he knows better than to criticize Donald Trump because of what happened to him in the past. That is my commentary. I hope you guys have a phenomenal Wednesday. I actually have an Abby Phillips video that I'm going to post later today. And so I will see you guys then. Have a great day for now. Bye.
As far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump absolutely gets an A because he did what no other Republican did before him. He got groups to vote for him who said they would never vote Republican. Well, they did, and they voted for